The wait is finally over as the ICC ODI World Cup schedule was released on Tuesday, June 27. While the eyes of the world will be on big fixtures like India versus Pakistan and India versus Australia, the schedule does have a bit of controversial tale in the form of Pakistan's involvement. Hello and a warm welcome to this edition of WION Podcast. I'm Aditya Pimpale and joining me today is my colleague Aditya Sahay as we review the ICC schedule for the upcoming ODI World Cup. So hello Aditya, I hope you're doing well and the wait is finally over as the ODI World Cup schedule is now out and we all know what the excitement all means about this.
Well, hi Aditya. Yeah, the schedule is finally out. 100 days before the tournament. It has never been so late, but we all know there were a lot of reasons for the delay. But eventually it is out and it's the schedule is the same as it was expected, which was the draft schedule which was shared a few weeks back. So they have stuck to the same schedule and we are all excited for it.
Well, it's just not about the excitement, the format, we thought that the format might be the most talkative point in the entire thing, but it is not. It is actually the Pakistan thing that has really surrounded the entire schedule because although the schedule is out, Pakistan's demands were never met and there's a word that is coming from some of the reports that they are still not cleared to participate in the World Cup by the government. So are we expecting another tale of controversies here?
Well, I think they can. I don't know what they are planning to do ahead, but ICC and BCCI are still pretty confident that they will be coming to the World Cup, and I think we all know they will be coming to the World Cup. It is it's not something which has come out of the blue. They needed a government clearance. Every country needs, and PCB are also have just said that they also need a clearance right now. Until now, they have not got anything, but once they get it, which I'm sure they will, they'll inform the ICC and they will come for the World Cup.
Yeah, eventually, before we just go ahead and all those things, we will just get out the details. India will be playing Pakistan on 15th of October at the Narendra Modi Stadium, whereas India and Australia will be India's first game of the World Cup as well for the hosts. And we all remember, Aditya, that last time India hosted the World Cup, they eventually won the World Cup, and we're expecting a lot of things, but which is the fixture that really intrigues? Although India-Pakistan will be the highlight, but which is the fixture you're looking forward to?
Honestly, I think for me, I'm looking forward to India-New Zealand in Dharamshala, and I think India-England, India-South Africa also. Pretty much, I think because we have not been very good against New Zealand, so I'm pretty much looking forward to finally we should be able to settle scores with them. But Dharamshala is not an easy venue for India, especially against the New Zealand Seamers. I can already imagine a very poor start, but I'm fingers crossed. I hope we can do something better this time.
Okay, you're predicting a very poor start, but those are fingers crossed. But interestingly, the Indian team will be playing at 9 different venues. That is something that India are the only team, I guess, who are playing at 9 different venues. So they are just trying to make sure that the entire country gets into it. But do you see any of those tracks challenging? They will be in Delhi, they will be in Bangalore, they will be in Chennai as well. But again, there should be challenges for this Indian team.
Definitely, there will be challenges. I don't think this Indian team is very good against spin bowlers anymore. I think they should be the first one to accept it if they don't. And obviously, there will be challenges of playing in Chennai, the slow tracks. We lost the ODI series final versus Australia in Chennai, and we were chasing. I think we had opted to bowl first. And I think Lucknow's pitch also will be very one to look forward to because we all know how the pitches were in the IPL. But I'm sure they'll be working upon it and they'll ensure a high-scoring match against England in Lucknow. Then the one against New Zealand, like I said, in Dharamshala won't be an easy one, and as well as against South Africa in Calcutta. So they are the host, but I think they have taken a plunge on themselves that we are the host, but we'll be traveling all across India for all the matches. So that will be a big challenge for Rahul and Rohit.
I guess, we saw that 2011 World Cup. They were traveling in and around as well. It was a big challenge that time as well, but they made sure that they got over the line. But I guess this time the conditions are different. It is first time that the ODI World Cup in the Indian subcontinent has been played in the winters rather than being in the summer. So is that going to be a big factor, do you think?
I'm sure. I think it's a good point that this is the first time that the World Cup is being held entirely in India and also in such a period. I mean, October, November, usually it is not held at that time. So there will be some venues where you will play a big role, and plus India traveling a lot. So in this case, this coaching staff, the support staff will play a huge role. I mean, to ensure that the players are fit, they are being rotated properly as well. So yeah, that's a lot of big challenges ahead for India.
Before I come to the Pakistan point again, I will just, there are other fixtures as well apart from India. There's, interestingly, the World Cup kicks off with England and New Zealand, which was the final in 2019. We all saw the drama that they had, so this is one fixture. Australia, New Zealand, there will be quite a few other fixtures apart from India. So which are the fixtures that you really think is going to attract the attention of the world?
Well, I think the biggest fixture will be Pakistan versus Zimbabwe. But yeah, jokes apart, I mean, that also can be a big fixture. But I think Pakistan, Afghanistan, South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, Australia, England. So, and then India, England. I think these are a lot of big rivalries. So I think this will turn a lot of heads, and this will be, I mean, these will be
they will attract a big crowd as well, although we just keeping our fingers crossed that there is no rain during that part of the year as well. But now let's come to the Pakistan part. Pakistan had a couple of demands that they don't want to play Australia in Bangalore, they don't want to play Afghanistan in Chennai, which hasn't been met. The schedule is out. The Pakistan Cricket Board might have something to say about it. So, do you think that they had valid grounds, or did ICC do what they needed to do, that is stamp the authority?
I definitely think this was not valid at all. I mean, in my opinion, I think it was needless. I mean, the venue changes, you're pretty much accepting defeat before it is even starting. And if their logic was they don't want to play Afghanistan in a spin friendly venue, and so they are not trusting themselves in a way, and they wanted to, I think they had called for a swap for all the venues.
Yeah, of course there was that India Pakistan game in Ahmedabad. They also wanted to swap that under Najan Sethi now.
Yeah, and none of the requests have been accepted, as we all knew. So, and plus they also, I'm sure, have not yet recovered from the hybrid model which has been accepted for the Asia Cup. So all these things were the demands just as a defense which came forward, but rightly said, I mean, it was not accepted.
And they didn't have valid grounds. The ICC had clearly mentioned that if you have any security reasons and if you have any of the venue related concerns, then it can be rescheduled, or it may be the venues could be changed, provided, I will just point out that the Pakistan football team was actually playing in Bangalore the other week. So I don't think so if one part of their sporting event is being held in that part of the world, they shouldn't have any issues with the cricket team, I guess.
Definitely, and I think the reasons which were pointed forward by them were not that serious, or which any board, which ICC or BCCI would have even looked into, that okay, let's just change the venue for something. But we all knew that it was never going to happen.
And there is one more equation, before we go up. If Pakistan make it to the semi-finals of the World Cup, they won't be playing in Mumbai, because Mumbai is one of the venues for the World Cup semi-finals, while Kolkata is the other one. If Pakistan make it, Pakistan won't play in Mumbai, and there are some political reasons behind that. And just to point out that if India and Pakistan game also takes place in the semi-finals, India-Pakistan will also happen in Kolkata itself. However, if India play any other team, that semi-final will be played in Mumbai. So are you excited for the semi-finals as well? There are equations relating to that as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if Pakistan were crying over the venues, they can be very happy also from the fact that the last group stage match will be against England in Calcutta. So in case they qualify or they are already through, the semi-final will also be at the same venue, irrespective of the opposition. So yeah, in that way they've got some advantage. And talking about the semi-final scenario, yeah, definitely the first place will play the fourth finishing team, and the second will meet the third one. So these are interesting times. We are expecting India, Australia, England, New Zealand to go through, but let's see. We can never write off Pakistan and South Africa.
Yeah, you can never write off them, because they lost to Zimbabwe last year in the T20 World Cup. They still made it to the final against all the odds as well. So you can't write off Pakistan at the moment. But this might be too early. But if I'm just going to ask you two semi-final predictions and the final, who do you think is going to be the favorites, and who will India host? Remember, they won it, and the last 3 World Cups, in fact, have been won by the host countries. So,
well, I personally can receive a lot of flack for this, but I don't think the trend will continue this time. I'm pretty much hoping India to make it to the semi-finals for sure. India, Australia. I would say Pakistan have slight chance. Pakistan and South Africa, one of them will qualify, and New Zealand will. I think England will be the big team which will be out.
And do you think who is going to win it?
Well, winning is too early a prediction, but I think Australia have a solid chance. Australia, and if India go through that semi-final phase, if they are out of that semi-final phase, then they are the favorites.
Okay, so that was Aditya Sahay just giving his bold prediction on the ODI World Cup. If my personal thoughts are to be there, I will always support India, but you never know what may happen in the ODI World Cup. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was it for this week's edition of WION Podcast. Hope that you have enjoyed. You can write into our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and also make sure that you follow our YouTube channel as well, where you can listen to all our podcasts. For now, we are running out of time. Join us again next time. From me and the rest of the team, goodbye, and thanks for joining.